afternoon, crafters, and welcome to Creative Moments by G. I'm Georgia, and I am so happy that you could stop by today. We are going to make a two-pocket card that you could use to perhaps put a gift card in one of them and then a saying in another. Let's head down to the crafting table so that I can show you a sample of what we're going to make. Here is the card that we put together using the Poppies Designer Series paper. Isn't it cute? Look at this. It has a little card with the saying stamped on it. Now this is where you could put your gift card, and then you pull out a card for the back and it has a saying, hugs, prayers, and love, and then you just slip it back in. And all we did is we just added a little bow here, and then we just put our sentiment across and we raised it up on dimensionals. Isn't that cute? Now this could be for congratulations, a birthday. It could be for any kind of card. But we are going to use Timeless Tropical Stamp Set from Stampin' Up, as well as the dies that go with it. And that's called In the Tropic Dies, to make a Mother's Day card. And let me tell you, it looks difficult, but it is not. It is so easy. The first thing you need to do is decide, are you going to use Designer Series paper, or will you be using just a regular cardstock? If you use a Designer Series paper, it comes in 12 by 12, and you need to go ahead and cut it down to 8.5 by 11. The first thing you will need to do is score your paper in half both ways. So when you turn it on the 8.5, you're going to score that at 4 1/4, right? So we're just going to score that right down the middle. You're going to turn it on the long side, and now we're going to score it 5 1/2. You are not going to believe how easy it is to do this. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just fold our paper, cardstock, and we are going to use our bone folder. And now we have it. Now you're going to turn it this way, which is the short side on the top. And we need to create a flap here. So the way you create the flap in the top left-hand corner, you measure from the corner, depending how big you want to make your two flaps. But I went ahead and I just measured 3 1/2, and I made a little tick mark. And then I went ahead and measured 3 1/2, made another little tick mark. And the easiest way for me to do this is just to go ahead and bring back in your trimmer and line up these little tick marks on the little tray right there where you're going to run your score blade, right? So we're just going to run our score blade, and there we have it. And you're going to fold this forward. Now, the way you get your bottom one is you simply fold it right to almost to the edge, not quite, and crease it. So there we have it. See how we folded it? Now we're just going to cut this score line right here to the middle. And basically that's it. See how easy that was to set the foundation for this pocket fold? And now watch what happens. We'll be folding this over, we'll fold this up, and fold this back. And there you have a card that opens up. Isn't that fast, and isn't it creative? And it creates two pockets. So let's go ahead and get this glued down. I'm going to go ahead and open it back up, just how we need it. And remember, this one folds over first, so I'm going to use some tear and tape for this part and this part right here. I'm going to use your take your pick tool, and I'm just going to pop this off. And now we have it in the same position. I'm simply going to fold that over, and we have our first pocket. Now the next one, remember, we fold up. So we need tear and tape here, and we need tear and tape right here. And remember, a tip, you want to go ahead and crease this down really well on your paper so that when you go to lift it up, the tape stays down, right? So we're going to just fold this over. And now we have our card base. Isn't that nice? I've seen a lot of pocket folders where they become the mat on top of a card base. This actually is the card. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're taking some of this DSP paper that goes with the Timeless Tropical, because we are going to create a card that you can just slip in here, and then we're going to put a white mat on it so you can write a message. Now it's a little bit big, so we're going to go ahead and cut a little bit off, and all these measurements will be written below, right? Where it says show more, that's where you'll need to go to get the measurements. So let's see how that fits. And we have our first mat. Now we're going to go ahead and move into our next one. Now you can do the same color, or you could do an alternating color, because remember, see, this is double-sided, and I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to use this green. So we need to cut it a little smaller. Okay. The next thing we need to do is cut our white mats so that you can have a message in here. And now we have both pieces of paper for our messages so that we can stamp anything you want on here. And we'll just slip it in, just like this. Okay, right? And now we need to have a mat for here. And we know this is just a normal A2 card. We're going to glue this down. Okay. It's starting to take shape. But we have to decorate the front, right? I'm going to show you how to blend these flowers. So you'll need to select your colors, and I normally say that I go with the dark, but in this instance, what I like to do is I go in with the light and I really saturate this paper, and I just go ahead and I color everything. What I'm trying to do is get this paper saturated so that I can then go back in with the dark and just give some shading to it. I've tried it many ways, and I have found that on this particular stamp, it works best if you do it this way. Now, as you begin to color this tropical flower, you need to go around the stem, the stamen, right? Because you don't want to color it. You want to leave it and maybe come in with yellow. So we're just going to go around, getting this really saturated, and then we're going to come back in with the darker shade and just pick up some of these lines. Now, just going to kind of go in where they already have it shaded. And it just looks much prettier this way. I'm going to go over these lines a little bit. And you know, if you find that you've gone over them and you've made them a little too dark, you can always come back in with the light Poppy Parade and lighten them up. We're just going to go over them. And I may go ahead and go over it just to lighten it up just a little bit. Now remember, these are alcohol markers, and so they will lighten up once it dries out just a little bit. But it still has that beautiful shading, and it's just so pretty. Now I'm going to come in with This color is dark daffodil, and I'm going to go ahead and color in this little flower, little stamen right in the middle. Now let me show you that. Didn't that blend really nicely? So pretty. And it's because I went in and I saturated it first with the light blend that it works so well. Now I did my flower already. I already have that cut out. And on this small one, I did the same thing. I just saturated it with the light poppy, and then I went back in with the dark poppy parade. Let's see what we have. Here's our card, and we cut out our beautiful tropical flower. We have some leaves that we cut out using the same set, and this is the dies cut these out so pretty. And then we colored our little flowers, and we are going to use this cutout. Is that cute? Look at that. It's 3D. Now that's really the top of the pineapple, but we're going to use it for our leaves because we thought that would be so pretty. So we're just going to see exactly how we might want to place this. Let's see, maybe, and I think we will be laying, oh, yeah, that's it. Okay, so we are going to get our glue pen so that we can just go over the backing of it just a little bit. We want some of it raised, so we're not going to cover the entire thing. And I'm just going to put it right here. And then we'll use, and see, this still lifts up. It's important that those lift up, I think. Okay. And we're going to get some glue on this one. We're just going to bring it down, leave a little bit of space there, lifting those up. Okay, and we are going to use dimensionals for our flowers. Now, we're going to put our big one right here, right in the middle. We want that right there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put our flower on so we can see where we need to put our little message. Then we can put things underneath it, right? So we have that. And we are going to put our sentiment right underneath that flower. So we're going to use our Take Your Pick tool, take our backing off. That is a great tip. Have you used your Take Your Pick tool to take off the backing of your dimensionals? It works so nicely. So we're just going to lift that up, put it right there, and now we have our little flowers to add. We're going to add some flowers. Slide it under this side. And now we have just a few leaves, and let's see if we should add those. Okay. So we have Rest and Relax, You Deserve It, and right here we are going to put Happy Mother's Day right there in the top right-hand corner. So we are going to get our Poppy Parade. Okay, we are going to slip this back in, and look at that. Isn't that outside pretty? So what we're going to do on the inside is just stamp another little poppy, and I'm putting some paper under it because I'm not going to stamp it 100%. I'm just right there, so it's just right on the end. I think that's all we need on the inside because the majority of our coloring is on the outside. So let's look at this. Isn't that a pretty Mother's Day card? Here is the one we did right now. Isn't it pretty? I think it's tropical, and yet the flower is so pretty. And then our other one, sending positive thoughts and feel-good wishes. You can use this as any occasion, right? So you have a Mother's Day card and you have any occasion. I hope you liked these cards that we made for you today. I think they turned out so nice. And to have 2 different cards, 2 different occasions that you can send out very quickly, make this pocket fold. Remember, all the dimensions will be listed below. Go out, have a great day, be safe, be healthy, be creative in your crafting. We will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.